class for today. Let me share my screen first. Good evening, Tulsi. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's begin our class for today. Today we are going to discuss the landmark judgments, what we have collected, what we have read in previous class. I'm just going to ask you people. You people have got that or not? So you have to reply whenever I ask about each and every judgment. And after that, I will teach you the 12 recent judgments which were came in 2019 and 2020. And after that, we will solve a mock test. Okay, so can anyone tell what judgment came in this Nehru Gandhi versus Raj Narayan? What I mean basic thing happened for what cause this case is remembered?
सर इसमें बोला गया जुडिशियल रिव्यू इज द बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन
Okay,
एंड इंदिरा गांधी ने जो आर्टिकल लाया था 329 ए उसे बाद में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने रिपील कर दिया था
okay. Next, can anyone tell what is in the ADM Jabalpur versus S Shukla? ADM Jabalpur versus S. Shukla, what I mean landmark happened in that case, for which it
For
is,
Article 14,
yeah,
21 and 20,
sorry,
आर्टिकल 14, 21 एंड 22 से रिलेटेड था ये इमरजेंसी में कि इसे सस्पेंड नहीं कर सकते और इसको हबीज कॉर्पस केस भी कहा जाता है और
so the order issued by the President under Article 359 suspending the right of access to the court for the enforcement of right under Article 14, 21 and 22 was held valid. So in this case it was written that whenever these articles are suspending 14, 21, 22, a person cannot go to Supreme Court for this. So this was I mean became became the landmark from this case कि अगर इमरजेंसी लगा तो अगर आर्टिकल 14, 21, 22 जब सारे फंडामेंटल राइट सस्पेंड होंगे तो उस समय 14, 21, 22 के लिए आप कोर्ट को अप्रोच नहीं कर सकते. दैट वाज देयर in ADM Jabalpur versus S. Shukla. That's why it was later criticized by many of the I mean intellectuals who are in judiciary. Yes, someone was raising hand calmly. Is there anything you want to ask Kamini? Okay. Then next move. Next question. Next is Menka Gandhi versus Union of India. What I mean landmark happened in this case? Menka Gandhi versus Union of India. Okay, procedure established by law. आर्टिकल 21. हाँ, आर्टिकल 21 का स्कोप जो है वो ब्रॉड किया गया. कैन यू स्विच ऑफ योर माइक ऋतिक? हाँ, so in this case article 21's scopes make broaden that mere animal existence is not enough. State should provide the life with dignity. State should protect the life with dignity, and article 21 is not just talking about mere animal existence but life with the dignity. So that was came from this Menka Gandhi versus Union of India. And we also know procedure established by laws procedure established by laws scope was broadened, and procedure and due process of law is also included in this. So we have discussed this in previous class. What happened in Muhammad Ahmad Khan versus Shah Bano case?
right to maintenance for every wife or
Yeah.
divorcee.
So under section 125 of CRPC, right to getting maintenance was also made for the women, Muslim women. Muslim women can also avail right to claim maintenance under section 125 of CRPC. So this was held landmark in this case. What happened in Daniel Latifi versus Union of India?
So the judgment was changed, and it was suggested that all the maintenance should be paid in the period itself.
Yeah, exactly. So all the maintenance you have to, whatever you are going to pay for her whole life, you have to pay it within the iddat period. So that was the Daniel Latifi versus Union of India. Next is Keswanand Bharati case versus State of Kerala. Can anyone tell what thing are
The
important to
preamble
remember?
of the basic structure of the
Basic
constitution.
Okay, next, what else held in this case on Bharti? Yes, of course, preamble became the
the basic structure cannot be amended of the constitution.
okay. Uh, it held that fundamental rights can be amended, but their basic
But
structures,
not amended the
uh,
basic structure of party.
but cannot amend the basic structure. Okay, so you people have idea. So Bachchan Singh versus State of Punjab.
That death penalty is valid in rarest of the rare cases.
Okay,
It's
so
not common, but it is valid.
yeah. In Bachchan Singh versus State of Punjab, it was challenged about validity of death penalty, and Supreme Court held that yes, it is. I mean, valid. This death penalty is valid, but it should be applied in rarest of the rare case. Next is Berubari Union.
The preamble was
The
not
preamble is not
considered a part
basic
of
structure of the constitution.
Yes. Preamble is not part of the basic structure. Okay. Then SR Bommai versus Union of India.
guideline was introduced for the president to enforce the national emergency or state emergency, and one should not use a state emergency to drop the government in power. But it is absolute. The power is not absolute; it can be challenged.
Yeah. So,
Secularism is also the part of basic
so
structure.
two things are important to remember in SR Bommai versus Union of India. First is that secularism is the part of basic structure, and second thing is that president cannot use 356 in his, I mean, in every time whenever it wants. There should be, Supreme Court had framed some guidelines that under these situations we have to consider these guidelines to impose the 356. So Supreme Court made some guidelines for 356 to curb the president's discretion for using this 356. Okay. Can anyone tell from which case this collegium system came in India?
The third judge case.
Okay, the third judge case. And what's its official name?
Sir,
What is the official name of third judge case? The official name of third judge case is
Supreme Court.
Supreme Court Advocate on Record Association versus Union of India.
Union of India.
Supreme Court Advocate on Record versus Union of India, which is also known as third judge case. Can anyone tell what happened in Minerva Mill case?
The somewhat balance between fundamental rights and DSPs were introduced, and
Okay.
judicial review was restored.
Judicial review was also restored. I mean, because there were some 42nd Amendment Act and some changes happened in that. But later Supreme Court again made the judicial review as a, I mean, it restored its judicial review, and again it told that judicial review is part of basic structure. that Parliament cannot take. Can anyone tell me that what happened in Sarla Mudgal case?
Sir, it was when men used Islam for marriage only for the purpose of marriage only, but they were now charged for bigamy
Yeah.
because वैसे तो वो पूरे हिंदू वाले रिचुअल्स ही फॉलो करते थे जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ मैरिज वो अपना रिलीजन कन्वर्ट करके इस्लाम अडॉप्ट कर लिया
Yes, yes, yes. So you cannot use any religion for I mean, just for your sake of some worldly pleasure. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने उसमें कहा था ये इस तरह के सेंटेंस कि जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ योर वर्ल्डली प्लेजर यू कैन नॉट यूज द रिलीजन. तो उस समय सल्ला मुद्गल केस में उसके हस्बैंड जो हैं वो इस्लाम कबूल करके एक शादी कर लेते हैं, तो उस पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने वहाँ पे बाइगेमी का चार्ज उन पे इम्पोज कर दिया था. एमसी मेहता किस लिए फेमस है?
इन्वायरमेंट
Environmentalist.
हाँ
Environment.
हाँ, तो इन्वायरमेंट से रिलेटेड देयर वुड बी केसेस और एनी अदर आई मीन litigation would be there, then MC Mehta comes in the front. Okay, can anyone tell that by which judgment third gender is recognized?
नालसा वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया
Yeah, so it was the NALSA versus Union of India, National Legal Service Authority versus Union of India, by which third gender was recognized. What happened in Shreya Singhal case? Any rough idea?
कुछ आईटी एक्ट से रिलेटेड था जिसमें फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच और एक्सप्रेशन को वॉलेट किया था, उसके बाद में अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल डिक्लेयर.
हाँ, 66A
66A ऑफ द आईटी एक्ट.
हाँ, इंडियन टेक्नोलॉजी एक्ट सेक्शन 66A was I mean correct struck down by the Supreme Court in Shreya Singhal versus Union of India. What Visakha guidelines talks about?
About sexual harassment and workplace.
Sexual harassment of women at workplace is related with the Visakha guideline. In Visakha guideline, Visakha versus state of Rajasthan, here you can see Visakha versus state of Rajasthan. In this, Supreme Court said, made a guideline that how to curb the sexual harassment of women at workplace. And later this Visakha guideline also became a parliamentary act now, which is I mean is working as an act. Can anyone tell me that by which judgment adultery become decriminalized?
Sir, Navteej Singh versus Union of India.
H.C. George.
But
Joseph Sine versus
initially,
Union of India.
Yeah, it was the Joseph Sine versus Union of India in which adultery made decriminalized. In Navteej Singh Johar versus Union of India, it was related to, can anyone tell?
unnatural offenses.
It was related to unnatural offenses, which we can say that homosexuality were decriminalized by Supreme Court through Navteej Singh Johar versus Union of India. So don't get confused between Joseph Sine and Navteej Singh Johar. Can you switch off your mic? Okay, yeah. After giving your answer, switch off your mic. Can anyone tell what about Naz Foundation versus Government of Delhi case?
377 of IPC was declared
IPC 377.
Yeah,
but later the Supreme Court struck it down.
Okay, yeah, Supreme Court struck down the judgment of the Delhi High Court because it was Delhi High Court judgment. This Naz Foundation versus State of Delhi, in which High Court completely, I mean whole 377 was struck down by the High Court, but Supreme Court struck down the case of the I mean judgment of the Delhi High Court in the case of Suresh Kumar Kaushal versus Nas Foundation and others. Okay. Can anyone tell about what is Romesh Thapar case is related with?
Equal pay for equal.
No, that is another case.
Sorry.
Romesh Thapar was a very prominent journalist just after the independence. So his news circular was get banned in the state of Madras on the ground of public safety. But public safety was not reasonable restriction that time in Article 19, but later it made a reasonable restriction in Article
सर
19.
इसी के बाद तो आर्टिकल 19 सब क्लास 2 आया था।
हाँ, या दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग कि 19 आर्टिकल 19 सब क्लॉज 2 में ये पब्लिक सेफ्टी वगैरह जो है वो बाद में एज अ रीजनेबल रिस्ट्रिक्शन जो है वो ऐड किए गए हैं। पब्लिक ऑर्डर, सिक्योरिटी ऑफ स्टेट, ऑल दिस थिंग। So it was Romesh Thapar versus State of Madras. So remember Romesh Thapar as a journalist, and this case is associated with him. अखिल भारतीय शोषित कर्मचारी संघ वर्सेज यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया।
Reservation. The 50% reservation is guideline. ये उसमें आएगा.
So in this case, I mean, Supreme Court said that, I mean, that carry forward system should be continued. I mean, I explained in previous class what is the carry forward system. That in this year in 2021, suppose 100 job came, but we do not get a satisfactory candidate in reserve category, so we left the seat vacant. So if in next year again 100 job came in year 2022, so first we fill the previous whatever reservation seats remained vacant, so we fill that much, and again the reservation for that year which is allotted, we should also fill that. So this is known as the rule of carry forward, which made valid in this case, and in this case also that 50% guideline is a ceiling limit, but it can be also exceeded. More than 50% reservation also can go whenever required or when reasonable. I mean, when there are rational and reasonable need is required. And can anyone tell from which case this 50% ceiling came?
Indira Sahani versus Union of India.
So Indira Sahani is really important, and it became more relevant in current time because I mean some 2 years back, Maratha just 1 year back, this Maratha reservation was struck down by the Supreme Court on this ground. So we will also read that case. So concept of equal pay for equal work came from the Randhir Singh versus Union of India. So can anyone tell what was the Hussain Ara Khatun versus State of Bihar?
Right to speedy trial.
Yeah, right to speedy trial. And again there was a recent case happened which we will read in coming slides, that not just speedy trial but fair trial is also, I mean, is also a fundamental right. Fair trial, and in fair trial speedy trial is part of that.
सर स्पीडी ट्रायल का मतलब क्या हुआ? मतलब
आप देखते होंगे कि किसी के ऊपर कोई एफआईआर हुआ, फिर उसको जो है ले जाके जेल में डाल दिया गया, मतलब जुडिशियल कस्टडी में दे दिया गया मजिस्ट्रेट के द्वारा। फिर जब तक वो कस्टडी में रहता है तब तक उस समय जो है पुलिस ऑफिसर जो है वो इन्वेस्टिगेशन करता है, और पुलिस ऑफिसर कई बार इन्वेस्टिगेशन बहुत लंबे लंबे टाइम तक करता रह जाता है, और तब तक उसको वो जेल में रखा जाता है, इवन दो कि उसका ट्रायल भी नहीं शुरू होता है। फिर पुलिस ऑफिसर जब इन्वेस्टिगेशन रिपोर्ट सबमिट करता है मजिस्ट्रेट को, फिर मजिस्ट्रेट उसे अप्रूव करके जज को भेजता है, फिर जज जो है वो ट्रायल का काम करता है, और ट्रायल का कभी एक डेट एक बार में 6 महीने बाद या एक साल बाद आ जाता है। तो दैट मीन्स इट टेकिंग अ लॉन्ग टाइम टू कमिंग ऑन अ फाइनल वर्डिक्ट, और उससे पहले वो उससे ज़्यादा जेल काट चुका होता है जितने साल की उसकी सज़ा नहीं है। तो ये है राइट टू स्पीडी ट्रायल, ये है कि जितने जल्दी हो सके उतने जल्दी मतलब ट्रायल ख़त्म किया जाए, 6 महीने में, 1 साल के अंदर, इस तरीके से जल्दी इस मतलब
ओके
ट्रायल
सर।
के। तो
यस सर,
ये
थैंक यू।
काफ़ी बड़ा इशू है इंडिया में स्पीडी ट्रायल का। ए के गोपालन वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ मद्रास में क्या हुआ था?
Article 22 was held valid, and the connection between 19 or 20 articles के बीच के connection.
Article 22's in which preventive detention is mentioned that held valid. So you have to remember that. And in this Supreme Court also said in this case, court also said that procedure established by law and due process of law both are different, and we only follow in India procedure established by law. Can anyone tell what I mean in Golaknath judgment, what stands Supreme Court to regarding fundamental right?
That the parliament only has limited power.
Article 21.
It cannot amend fundamental.
Yes. So in in the Golaknath case, Supreme Court held that before that there were two cases, Sankari Prasad versus Union of India and Sajjan Singh versus State of Rajasthan. In this, both the cases, Supreme Court held that Parliament has unlimited power and it can amend the whole constitution including the fundamental right. But in Golaknath versus State of Punjab case, Supreme Court held that Parliament has limited power and it cannot amend the fundamental rights. So that was the Golaknath case, that Parliament has limited power, cannot amend the fundamental right. But this later change in Keswanand Bharti case, that Parliament can amend the fundamental right but cannot amend its essence, and basic structure talks about the essence of the constitution. What did came from Public Interest Foundation versus Union of India? So from Public Interest Foundation versus Union of India, it came that mere framing of criminal charges against any legislative member, we cannot disqualify him. So we cannot disqualify a legislative member, an MLA, MLC or any a Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha member, just because some charges had framed. Charges framing matlab some in the court, police has or under magistrate, some charges are framed against him, but it didn't proven. So I mean before trial, magistrate under the by the investigation of police framed some charges. So that it is talking about here framing of charges. से केवल हम किसी को डिस्क्वालीफाई नहीं कर सकते जब तक फाइनल वर्डिक्ट ना आए, एंड वी कैन ओनली डिस्क्वालीफाई दोज मेंबर हु आई मीन हु आर कन्विक्टेड फॉर more than 2 years of jail, 2 or more than 2 years of the jail. We have already discussed Joseph Sain versus Nautej Singh Chauhan. Okay, can anyone tell regarding this Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act 2019, which case we should remember? Any idea? So
Yes, sir.
always remember, questions comes vice versa. They can directly give the case name and ask what happened in that, or they can ask the what happened, from which case this came, this thing happened, this judgment, this landmark came. So both we have to remember. Currently, Manohar Lal Sharma versus Union of India and Dr. Shah Faisal versus Union of India are fighting the I mean they have fighting the case in court regarding the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act 2009, and nothing concrete has came out from this case still. So it is not that much important, but we have to have some idea. And Ayodhya Mandir case is it is famous by Ayodhya Mandir case. but official name of it is Muhammad Siddiq versus Mahant Suresh Das. And this is important that internet access is a fundamental right, and it came from the Fahima Sherin versus State of Kerala. So can anyone tell Indian Young Lawyers Association versus State of Kerala?
Sabrimala.
Yeah, it's related to Sabrimala. I'll always remember this case. Sabrimala was a very landmark judgment, and it was in current affairs whole 3 4 months. And from which case this came? Right to privacy is a fundamental right.
K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India.
K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India it came. हादिया केस का क्या ऑफिशियल नेम था? So Hadia case's official name is Safin Jahan versus Ashokan KM. So just remember this name, Safin Jahan versus Ashokan KM. So now we are going to discuss the recent judgments which happened in last 1-2 years. So I have 12 judgment to teach you, and in just before your exam I will also check some more judgment which came in year 2022. If there would be some important judgment which should be included, I will include in it, and again I will revise it once. So let's see what important judgment came in year 19 and 2020 and 2021. So first is Prithviraj Chauhan versus Union of India. In this case, sorry, the court in this judgment the court upheld the constitutionality of SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Amendment Act. Sorry. So recently our parliament has came with this new amendment act of SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act in 2018. So this case was amendment was challenged in Prithviraj Chauhan versus Union of India case. So what happened basically in 2018 there was a case of Kasinath Mahajan case. In that case Supreme Court made some guidelines, some safeguard that prevented the misuse of SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act. तो हमने देखा कि SC/ST जो एक्ट है प्रिवेंशन ऑफ एट्रोसिटीज एक्ट, उसका कई बार मिसयूज होते दिख रहा है. तो 2018 में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने महाजन केस में, काशीनाथ महाजन केस में कुछ सेफगार्ड्स लेके आ गए, कुछ गाइडलाइंस लेके आ गए कि इसको हमें ध्यान देना चाहिए SC/ST एक्ट, एट्रोसिटीज एक्ट में जब केस रजिस्टर करते थे. तो इस जजमेंट को पलटने के लिए पार्लियामेंट ने जो है एक अमेंडमेंट एक्ट ले आया 2018 में, और उस अमेंडमेंट एक्ट को जो है इसमें चैलेंज किया गया पृथ्वीराज चौहान वर्सेज यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया में. बट और इसके बाद इस जजमेंट में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इसे वैलिड किया कि ये जो है जो अमेंडमेंट हुआ वो वैलिड है और ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल है. तो बेसिकली सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जो जजमेंट था 2018 का सेफगार्ड वाला, उसको पार्लियामेंट ने पलट दिया और सुप्रीम कोर्ट भी मान गया कि वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल है जो चेंजेस पार्लियामेंट लेकर आई है. आप लोगों ने क्रिप्टो करेंसी के बारे में सुना होगा और काफ़ी न्यूज़ में था. तो 2018 में एक्चुअली रिजर्व बैंक हैज़ बैंड द क्रिप्टो करेंसी. आफ्टर दैट देयर वाज अ केस फाइल्ड इन सुप्रीम कोर्ट अगेंस्ट दैट बैन ऑफ द करेंसीज. द केस नेम वाज इंटरनेट एंड मोबाइल एसोसिएशन ऑफ इंडिया वर्सेस रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया. तो इस केस में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो भी क्रिप्टो करेंसी के ऊपर बैन इम्पोज था या जो भी कर्व इम्पोज था उसको अप लिफ्ट कर दिया सारे कर्व्स को जो कि रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया ने लगाया था. तो ये था इंटरनेट एंड मोबाइल एसोसिएशन ऑफ इंडिया वर्सेस रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया. अब हम देखते हैं कि हमने न्यूज़ में पढ़ा था कि वुमेन जो हैं उनको भी परमानेंट कमीशन वाला जो जॉब है, पोस्ट्स हैं नेवी में और आर्मी में, वो मिल चुका है. तो वो कौन कौन से केसेस हैं वो हमें देखना है. तो पहला है द सेक्रेटरी मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ डिफेंस वर्सेस बबीता पुनिया. तो इस केस में जो है सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने हेल्ड किया कि जो है वुमेन जो है वो भी इक्वली डिजर्व करती हैं परमानेंट कमीशन का जॉब, और इनको भी देना चाहिए। एंड इन ऑल द 10 स्ट्रीम्स, जो भी 10 स्ट्रीम्स हैं आर्मी के, उन सारे में परमानेंट कमीशन अब वुमेन को मिलेगा। ये कौन से लैंडमार्क जजमेंट से आया? वो द सेक्रेटरी मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ डिफेंस वर्सेस बबीता पुनिया। और सेम चीज़ जो नेवी के केस में हुआ, परमानेंट कमीशन विच इज इक्वल विद द मेन एट पार विद द मेन, वो आया यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया वर्सेस एन्नी नागराज, एन्नी नागराज, यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया वर्सेस एन्नी नागराज। तो ये इन दोनों केसों को हमें इम्पॉर्टेंट है, उसे याद रखना है कि वुमेन को आर्मी में परमानेंट कमीशन मिला और वुमेन को नेवी में परमानेंट कमीशन मिला। कंठराजू राजवीर वर्सेस इंडियन यंग लॉयर एसोसिएशन। हमने इंडियन यंग लॉयर एसोसिएशन के बारे में पढ़ा था कि इन्होंने जो है वो सबरीमला का केस फाइल किया था। एक रिव्यू पिटीशन, रिव्यू के लिए एक पिटीशन फाइल हुआ कंठराजू राजवीर के द्वारा, ये इंडियन यंग लॉयर एसोसिएशन के अगेंस्ट में। और इसमें कहा गया कि जो सबरीमला का जजमेंट है उसको देखा जाए और उसको फिर से मतलब जो पुराना जजमेंट है उसको स्ट्रक डाउन किया जाए। लेकिन सुप्रीम कोर्ट में इसमें जो है इस पिटीशन को जो है वो डिसमिस कर दिया। नेक्स्ट है विनीता शर्मा वर्सेस राकेश शर्मा। ये जो है वो हिंदू सक्सेशन अमेंडमेंट एक्ट जो 2005 में आया, जिसके थ्रू अब वुमेन को भी जो है वो एंसिस्ट्रल प्रॉपर्टी जो होता है, हिंदू अनडिवाइडेड फैमिली कह लें या जॉइंट हिंदू फैमिली कह लें, जो उसमें एंसिस्ट्रल प्रॉपर्टी होता है उसमें वुमेन को भी अब राइट मिलेगा। वुमेन भी एक कोपार्टनर है उसमें। ये सब आपको शायद फैमिली लॉ में पढ़ें, कोपार्टनरी वगैरह होता है कि जो मेंबर होते हैं जिन्हें एंसिस्ट्रल प्रॉपर्टी में शेयर मिलता है, वो 4 जनरेशन के को पार्टनर कहा जाता है, और जो सबसे टॉप मोस्ट जनरेशन का होता है उसे कर्ता कहा जाता है। तो रिगार्डिंग दिस इन विनीता शर्मा वर्सेस राकेश शर्मा में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने अपहेल्ड किया कि अगर फादर अलाइव हो या फादर एक्सपायर हो चुके हैं, वुमेन को जो है उनको उनका शेयर एंसिस्ट्रल प्रॉपर्टी में मिलेगा। और इसके रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव इफेक्ट के बारे में भी बात किया सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने। तो ये जस्टिस अरुण मिश्रा जो है वो हेड कर रहे थे इस बेंच को, उन्होंने अपने जजमेंट में ये बात कही। तो ये इम्पॉर्टेंट है, फैमिली लॉ से रिलेटेड भी इम्पॉर्टेंट है जब आप लोग इसमें फैमिली लॉ वगैरह पढ़ेंगे। अगला केस है केशम मेघचंद्रा वर्सेस ऑनरेबल स्पीकर ऑफ मणिपुर लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली। इसमें सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने पार्लियामेंट से कहा है रीथिंक के बारे। पार्लियामेंट हैज अर्ज्ड टू रीथिंक अबाउट द पावर ऑफ द स्पीकर while disqualifying a member under the 10th schedule. 10th schedule, we all know that it is about the anti-defection law. So Parliament has urged that Supreme Court has urged with Parliament to rethink about this power of Speaker of disqualifying under the 10th schedule. I mean, in this case, Supreme Court also said that we have seen many times that Speaker is not a speaker shows biasness, but speaker should be unbiased. But speaker does not remain unbiased; it became biased towards a party while deciding the under the anti-defection law, the disqualification. तो ये सब कहा है और रिक्वेस्ट किया है कि स्पीकर का जो उसमें पावर है उसको चेंज किया जाना चाहिए, एंड वी शुड मेक सम tribunal for that which should be headed by retired judge to deal the disputes under the 10th schedule. But Parliament hasn't taken any Parliament didn't give a consideration on this judgment still yet, but let's see what happens in future. But it is an important judgment in future. If any changes came in our 10th schedule, this judgment will become landmark. Still, you have to have some idea about this judgment. Okay, then Nitin Aryan and Satish Kumar Sonwani वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ छत्तीसगढ़। इसमें हमने अभी वो हुसैन आरा खातून वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ बिहार पढ़ा था। कि राइट टू स्पीडी ट्रायल होना चाहिए। इसमें कहा गया कि राइट टू स्पीडी ट्रायल जो है वो इम्प्लिसिट है, मतलब इनडायरेक्टली पार्ट है राइट टू फेयर ट्रायल का, विच इज इटसेल्फ इज अ पार्ट ऑफ राइट टू लाइफ अंडर आर्टिकल 21। तो आर्टिकल 21 से ये मतलब इसको एलाबोरेट करते हुए कहा कि आर्टिकल 21 में देयर इज कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ राइट टू लाइफ, एंड अंडर राइट टू लाइफ देयर इज राइट टू फेयर ट्रायल, एंड अंडर राइट टू फेयर ट्रायल देयर इज राइट टू स्पीडी ट्रायल। तो हुसैन आरा खातून और ये जजमेंट का आइडिया होना चाहिए हमें। Then next is State of Punjab versus Davinder Singh. So in this case, High Court of Punjab and Haryana High Court has struck down the Punjab Scheduled Caste and Backward Class Act of 2006 and declared it as unconstitutional. Why it is declared it? Why the High Court declared it unconstitutional? Because in this there was a section 4 subclass 5 that created an unconstitutional subdivision within the scheduled caste. So हमने देखा है कि कई सारे स्टेट में जो है वो ओबीसीज में सब डिवीज़न है, और पंजाब में जो है वो सब डिवीज़न जो है वो शेड्यूल कास्ट में बनाया, और उसमें से कुछ कास्ट्स को उन्होंने बाहर कर दिया, मतलब उन्हें काउंट नहीं किया। तो इस सिचुएशन को देखते हुए मतलब हाई कोर्ट ने इसको पंजाब शेड्यूल कास्ट वर्सेस बैकवर्ड क्लास एक्ट 2006 को अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल डिक्लेयर कर दिया, और कहा कि पार्लियामेंट जो है वो ही केवल शेड्यूल कास्ट की जो लिस्ट है जिसे प्रेसिडेंट बनाता है अंडर आर्टिकल 341, उसमें केवल पार्लियामेंट ही चेंजेस ला सकता है, किसी को इंक्लूड और एक्सक्लूड कर सकता है। स्टेट वाले लिस्ट की बात हो रही है। देन नेक्स्ट कम दी AGR Outlier Media Private Limited versus State of Maharashtra. So in this case, I mean, it was held that no person action of arrest is permitted without prior notice. He shall give notice to 72 hours before taking such coercive action. तो सपोज एक होता है कॉग्निजेबल ऑफेंस, एक होता है नॉन कॉग्निजेबल ऑफेंस। कॉग्निजेबल ऑफेंस में जो है वो पुलिस जो है without even permission of magistrate and without any notice can arrest, but for the non cognizable offense they should need to take the permission of the magistrate, and in this case Supreme Court held that they should also give a notice of 72 hours. If someone is cooperating with the police, I mean, and he is agreeing, you cannot just go and arrest him at once. You have to give him notice to come to the police station. If he is not coming, then you should go and arrest him. So you should give him to notice of 72 hours before taking such coercive action. I mean, what coercive action means arrest here. हमने फार्मर का केस सुना था बिकॉज इट वाज बिकम रियली बिग न्यूज, इंटरनेशनल न्यूज, नेशनल न्यूज, it was remain in news. So the case name is Rakesh Vaishnav and others versus Union of India. In this case, Supreme Court held that farmer have the constitutional right to continue protest. जब ये रोड को ब्लॉक कर दिए थे उससे रिलेटेड ये है, और उसके बाद फार्मर हैज अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल राइट टू कंटिन्यू देयर प्रोटेस्ट अंटिल देयर डिसेंट अगेंस्ट द बिल डिड नॉट स्लिप इनटू वायलेंस। अगर वायलेंट नहीं होते हैं फार्मर्स तो वो जितने लंबा चाहें उतना मतलब प्रोटेस्ट अपना दे कैन कंटिन्यू। तो दिस केम फ्रॉम राकेश वैष्णव एंड अदर्स वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया। Then last one, this was case related to Maharashtra, in which Maharashtra gave in 2018, I think Maharashtra gave 12% reservation to Maratha in I think in education and 13% in job, or it's vice versa. There is 12-13% reservation given to the Maratha community, but later Supreme Court held that it is unconstitutional, and they followed the judgment of Indra Sahani versus Union of India that there are 50% ceiling, and if it would be required, I mean it would be important to give any section of the society a separate reservation. At least there should be some very reasonable ground. तो यहाँ पे कोई ऐसा रिजनेबल ग्राउंड सुप्रीम कोर्ट को नहीं लगा और सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो है वो मराठा कम्युनिटी का जो रिजर्वेशन था उसको स्क्रैप कर दिया, स्ट्रक डाउन कर दिया। तो ये केस था जय श्री लक्ष्मण राव पाटिल वर्सेस द चीफ मिनिस्टर एंड अदर्स। और ये कहाँ से आइडिया उठाया इसे सीलिंग का? इंदिरा साहनी के जजमेंट से, इंदिरा साहनी वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया 1992 के केसेस को। और कहा कि जो एक्सीडिंग हो रहा है रिजर्वेशन वो कहीं ना कहीं जो है वो वायलेट करता है आर्टिकल 14 और आर्टिकल 16 ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। तो दैट्स हाउ आवर lecture on this landmark judgment ends here. When your entrance exam would be closer, I will check some more landmark judgment, and if there would be required, I will add them and I will make it revise once more. So, uh, shall I discuss the short term test 11? You people want it to discuss?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We will discuss it briefly because most of the facts are asked in this. Uh, yeah, I think most of the facts are asked in this test. So Indian Constitution was amended for the first time in. It was amended in.
1951.
Yeah, it was amended in 1951 and it was regarding with the land.
land reform.
Yeah, land reform. Which amendment restored the power of judicial review to the Supreme Court and High Court after it was curtailed by the 42nd Amendment?
Yes.
तो ये हुआ था 44th अमेंडमेंट एक्ट से। और फिर हमने पढ़ा था कि इसके बाद मिनर्वा मिल केस होता है, उसमें उसने सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने फिर से अपना राइट टू जुडिशियल रिव्यू को असर्ट किया था। नेक्स्ट इज विच अमेंडमेंट बिल proposed to grant स्टेटहुड टू दिल्ली। दिल्ली को जो राज्य का दर्जा है वो कब मिला? तो दैट केम फ्रॉम द 69th अमेंडमेंट एक्ट। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज बाय विच अमेंडमेंट बिल द पार्लियामेंट lower the voting age from 21 to 18. So by mistake 62nd got written in place of 61st. So correct answer is 61st. Everybody remember that this came by the 61st Amendment Act, not the 62nd, and it happened by typo error. So most of the people have marked the 62nd.
18.
It came by the 61st. Next is the right to property ceased to be a fundamental right. राइट टू प्रॉपर्टी का फंडामेंटल
1978.
हाँ, क्योंकि यहाँ पे कौन सा अमेंडमेंट एक्ट आया था? बाय विच अमेंडमेंट एक्ट?
Amendment.
या इट वाज 44th अमेंडमेंट एक्ट।
जनता गवर्नमेंट.
या which of the following is true about an amendment bill? There is no limitation to the power of the parliament to amend the constitution. No amendment made be called in question in any court. A deadlock between two houses on amendment bill can be resolved by a joint session of the. So it is talking about amendment bill, means it is talking about the constitutional bill. So in this, what is true? That state legislature cannot initiate any bill for amendment. Yes, so this is true that state cannot amend the constitutional bill or they cannot initiate even. So here what is wrong in this first one? That there is no limitation to the power of the parliament. So we know there are limitations that parliament cannot parliament cannot amend anything in the constitution. There are limitations, so that's why it is incorrect. Next is no amendment can can be called in question in any court. So it is talking about judicial review. तो judicial review है, यहाँ पे no लिखा है, इसलिए ये wrong हो गया. इसमें क्यों wrong हुआ? Can anyone tell me? Because most of you have got with this two house session.
सर अमेंडमेंट बिल्स में जॉइंट सेशन अलाउड नहीं होता, तो इसलिए वो रॉन्ग है.
Yeah, so for in जो joint the concept of joint session is only available for the ordinary bill and finance bill, but joint session is not allowed for money bill and constitutional bill. So for money bill, parliament Lok Sabha has upper hand and for the constitutional bill both house are equal, so we cannot bring a constitutional bill, we cannot call a joint setting for the constitutional bill. So please remember, because most of you did it, this question is you people did it incorrect. The delimitation of territorial constituencies in India is the responsibility. अब जो delimitation होता रहता है लोकसभा का जो रीजन है या विधानसभा का, तो वो कौन करता है? तो it is done by the delimitation commission and with the help of the election commission. So delimitation commission and election commission works together to delimit the टेरिटोरियल कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज. ये सब डिलिमिटेशन कमीशन जो कि पार्लियामेंट द्वारा फॉर्म होता है, लेकिन करेक्ट आंसर जो है फर्स्ट प्रेफरेंस वी हैव टू गिव टू द डिलिमिटेशन कमीशन. द पंचायती राज सिस्टम इज एम्ड एट. पंचायती राज सिस्टम का क्या एम है? बेसिकली इट्स एम इज टू डेमोक्रेटाइज एंड डेमोक्रेटिक डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन. जो कि सेंटर से रूल हो रहा है और स्टेट के सेंटर से रूल हो रहा है, वो अब गांव के मतलब लेवल पे रूलिंग होना चाहिए. गांव के लोग जो हैं वो पार्टिसिपेट करें. पीपल्स फ्रॉम
सर
विलेज.
एक बार डिलिमिटेशन कमिटी के फंक्शंस प्रॉपर्ली समझा दो.
So basically delimitation commission's work is to we know that Lok Sabha and for Vidhan Sabha there is a limited certain area that this area people will vote to this Lok Sabha and this area people will vote to this Vidhan Sabha. This is described by delimitation commission. So delimitation commissions draw the line that which geographical region people will vote for which Lok Sabha. They can enlarge it, they can reduce it according to the census and according to the parliamentary act. So this is the basic work of the delimitation commission. And delimitation commission works with the election commission. This is also important to remember. Next is, which of the following state was the first to establish the new Panchayati institutions? So new Panchayati Raj institution was initiated from the Rajasthan, a city Nagaur, a district Nagaur. From there it was started. The strength of the UPSC. UPSC का strength कौन determine करता है? Is determined by the president from time to time. ये जो है किस आर्टिकल में लिखा है? I have also I think mentioned its article.
सर 316.
Let me check it once. In answer किया I think I have mentioned, yeah, 318. In 318 it is mentioned that it is the duty of president. Okay, then next is the member of UPSC hold office. So we all know member of UPSC hold office till 6 years or till they attain year of 65 or 62. Yes, 65.
65.
Then next is the status of a recognized opposition party in Lok Sabha is secured only when the percentage of total seat. तो कितना total seat चाहिए percentage? तो वो 10% at least
10%.
10%. should be they hold at least for the getting the post of leader of opposition. इंदिरा साहनी वर्सेज यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया किस चीज़ से रिलेटेड पॉपुलर है? तो ये बेसिकली इसे मंडल जजमेंट भी कहा जाता है। क्यों? क्योंकि इसमें जो मंडल कमीशन के रिपोर्ट के ग्राउंड पे जो ओबीसी को रिजर्वेशन मिला था उसको इसमें चैलेंज किया गया था। तो ये मंडल जजमेंट से भी फेमस है। व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ लैटिन फ्रेज ऑडी एल्ट्रम पार्टम? तो इट दिस लैटिन मीन्स नो वन शैल बी कंडेम्ड अनहर्ड, मतलब सुप्रीम कोर्ट बिना मतलब सॉरी एनी कोर्ट कैन नॉट कंडेम और कन्विक्ट एनी पर्सन विदाउट हियरिंग देम, so they should be also given a chance. Who was the first attorney general of India? So MC स्टीलवाद जो थे
जी तलवार।
वो फर्स्ट अटॉर्नी जनरल थे। The name of one person has been mostly associated with cases relating to environment in the Supreme Court. So,
MC मेहता।
so we all know this person is MC Mehta. An appeal against the order of Central Tribunal. सेंट्रल ट्राइब्यूनल के अगेंस्ट में जो अपील होता है वो कहाँ पे होता है? वो हाई कोर्ट में होता है, फिर उसके बाद सुप्रीम कोर्ट में होता है। बेसिकली जो इसके अंदर प्रोविज़न था सेंट्रल एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव ट्राइब्यूनल के कि डायरेक्ट सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जाए, लेकिन सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एक जजमेंट में इसको मतलब इस प्रोविज़न को स्ट्रक डाउन कर दिया कि पहले हाई कोर्ट में जाइए फिर उसके बाद सुप्रीम कोर्ट में आइए। तो ये एक सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजमेंट के बाद ये चेंजेस आया, पहले हाई कोर्ट में। इन विच केस सुप्रीम कोर्ट हेल्ड दैट पार्लियामेंट हैज नो पावर टू अमेंड फंडामेंटल राइट्स, so that came from the Golaknath case. A sentence of death by a sentence of death by a lower session court. So if a lower court is giving a death sentence to anyone, he should be, the judge should be confirm it from the high court. So high court का approval is necessary for giving a death sentence by a lower court. A minimum of the judges of Supreme Court here a constitutional matter. तो constitutional bench का कितना strength होना चाहिए कम से कम? So it should be 5, at least 5 judges should be there to form a constitutional bench. और 2 जज होंगे तो वो कौन सा बेंच होगा? 2 जज होते हैं तो उसे डिवीजन बेंच कहा जाता है। When 3 judges there तो उसे फुल बेंच कहा जाता है। जब 5 या 5 से मोर होंगे तो उसे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच कहा जाएगा। तो दैट्स हाउ वी एंड आल्सो डिस्कशन
सर एक बार रिपीट कर दो, ये 2, 3 और 5 वाला रिपीट।
2 जज इज डिवीजन बेंच, 3 जज इज द फुल बेंच एंड 5 जज इज द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच। 2 फॉर डिवीजन, 3 फॉर फुल बेंच एंड 5 फॉर द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच। तो
मोर देन 5?
हाँ, 5 और मोर देन 5 comes under the constitutional bench.
Okay sir.
So that's how we end here. So do you people have any doubt, query? No queries?
No sir.
Okay.